David Nicholas is back with us, though. David, I know you're still optimistic. You think we're not going to head for a major recession this year. Why don't you make your case?
Yeah, Stuart, I mean, companies just aren't laying off workers. I mean, the demand for workers is very strong. If you just look at the numbers, there's 1.7 open jobs for every available worker. Unemployment is at a half-century low. Wage pressures are abating. So I know there's a lot of nervous investors out there, but I can tell you with what's going on right now, U.S. companies will see some growth. But we're not on the edge of a major slowdown. But here's where I think it matters, is U.S. companies won't be as profitable. And that will put pressure on stocks, Stuart. This is why it's so important to own the right names if you want to win this year.
But it's not a lot of pressure on stocks, presumably.
Well, the wage pressure is still there, but it's just business costs. Look, in spite of this administration, businesses are still surviving, but it is costly to do business in America today. But businesses are making cuts, but they're not making cuts in labor. And I think that's a key point, Stuart, which is why I think we stay out of a big recession this year.
So the market really, stocks generally, they're not going sharply up or sharply down. It's kind of a steady as she goes year, you think?
That's right. And this is why I think you really got to rethink where you invest. Bonds are one of the worst investments last year, Stuart. But I think treasuries and bonds will be one of the big winners this year. It's why we created an ETF. It's called FIAX. I blame you for this, Stuart, because you keep talking about the 2-year treasury. We had clients calling our office saying, the great Stuart Varney keeps saying to buy the 2-year.
You did
but
not.
My response was, we did. It didn't keep up with inflation. So we created a bond fund. We own treasuries yielding 4.5%, but we generate about a 2 to 3% a year on top of the bonds to keep up with inflation. So we think a name like that, FIAX, really wins in this environment, Stuart.
Okay, I'm with you all the way, and thank you very much for the promotion there. I do appreciate that. It was a good idea, though. A short-term treasury security, which is you hold it to maturity, is guaranteed to pay you back your money, and you get interest which is partially tax-free. I mean, what's wrong with that, you know? There you go.
It's great.
Thanks very much indeed. We'll see you again soon. David Nicholas. All right, check.